I want to stick with Lynch. We're starting to see some of the Niners targets, and some of them are realistic and some of them are hilarious. The Niners have been trying to trade for Justin Jefferson
for 2 years now.
It's just
Dude,
the
they
cutest thing of all time. They could have drafted Justin Jefferson, but they wanted Javon Kinlaw. They could have had Justin Jefferson, but they thought, no, we'll get Javon Kinlaw, and then Justin Jefferson will just be waiting there for us. Later in the first round, of course, he wasn't, so they got Brandon Ayuk, and that worked out very well.
That right there should be fireable. Right there. Even if we trade for Justin Jefferson.
As if Trey Lance wasn't enough. As if Solomon Thomas and Reuben Foster in the first year wasn't enough. Yeah, okay. All right, so Justin Jefferson, it's kind of like when they called the Patriots about Jimmy Garoppolo, and they're like, hey, before we ask what we really want to ask, like, could we trade for Tom Brady? And they're like, no. And they're like, all right, cool, bet. Well, what about Jimmy? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. We don't like Jimmy whatsoever. So the Niners traded for Jimmy. I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, hey, is Justin Jefferson still off limits? And they're like, yeah, of course. And they're like, cool, we're just checking. Well, what about Jordan Addison? And they're like, well, here's the thing about Jordan. Jordan's available.
Trade for Jordan, that'd be awful.
Jordan's available for obvious reasons. He's been arrested 3 times. One of the times he was like passed out in the middle of an intersection in a car. Never ideal. And that, and the last time he wouldn't leave. I don't know. I wasn't there. But the good thing about Jordan is that he's 23 and he's very good at football.
But we just dealt with a head case. I think it's the opposite. I think they're calling to see, hey, is Jordan Addison available? And they're like, I don't know. We kind of want to trade him. Kind of. Okay, cool. What if we offer you an absolute haul for Justin Jefferson again?
And they're like, no, but what about Jordan Addison?
I feel like they want to take it. I know they want to take a swing at Justin Jefferson again. I feel like that's.
Hey, man, swing to your heart's content, but it's not going to happen.
I can see it happening.
You can see it happening.
I could see it happening. Justin Jefferson just came off his worst year, super high with drops. He has no chemistry with JJ McCarthy. I heard that you think it's because they're
$50 million dead cap.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. What if the Niners say we'll eat some?
They're not going to trade their best player. They won 9 games last year. They're not rebuilding. They won 9 games with the worst quarterback situation in the league. He's not going to be their quarterback next year. They might keep him on the team, but they're going to get Kirk Cousins or Mac Jones or Joe Burrow or whoever is available. They're going to be the most aggressive team.
But that's what I'm saying is they won 9 games with Justin Jefferson not playing well. They won 9 games with him not playing well.
I can't stress enough that they're not going to trade Justin Jefferson.
Maybe they think, you know what?
Yeah.
Save the money.
Maybe they think that, but they don't.
They need to upgrade their offensive line too. They need the money.
Yeah, but they're not gonna. That's the thing. Because their GM's on the hot seat, and if they trade Justin Jefferson, then who is JJ McCarthy throwing to? Then they're just gonna be way worse. So
I don't think
there's that.
I don't think they'd be way worse.
You don't think they'd be way worse without Justin Jefferson?
I think Jordan Addison, Jalen Naylor, TJ Hawkinson is actually a pretty good core that you could get away with for a while.
Why would you want to have a pretty good core that you could get away with for a while when you could get rid of JJ McCarthy and get a quarterback who wants to play with the best wide receiver in football?
Who would they get? Who's a realistic quarterback?
Who doesn't want to play with Justin Jefferson?
Who wants to? But who could they get?
They could get Mac Jones.
They
could get Kirk Cousins. Dude, they could win 11 to 12 games with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I don't like the Addison target. I think I'm good on. I just
wide receivers who drive very fast
I just kind of want a guy that's going to play like offseason target. I was looking a lot. I like Alec Pierce. He's a true X, which we haven't had in a while. He's a big body. He's good.
Alec Pierce would be such a terrible fit with Brock Purdy, and you know it.
No, I don't. I think he'd be.
Yes, you do. No, Purdy doesn't have the arm for that. He's a deep threat.
Yeah, but so was Ayuk, and they were good.
Yeah, but Ayuk was like more than that, though. Like Ayuk could like run the slants and the digs. I feel like Pierce is running posts and goes.
Exactly. So you just have him do what Ayuk did when he ran deep routes. It was more of like a deep crosser or like a deep post, something that Purdy could hit. Or, I mean, hey, they're adamant they're keeping Mac Jones. Maybe they just throw Mac Jones in for the go routes.
What about Kyle Pitts?
I like Kyle Pitts. I think they should go for Kyle
They need
Pitts
a tight
or
end.
Njoku. I think Njoku or Pitts is a good pickup.
And like you see all the success that the Rams are having, specifically against the Seahawks with this 13 personnel, 3 tight end formations. Like, why don't you want to do that? Like, your wide receivers are awful. You could go get more, or you could just go get tight ends who are cheaper, and they seem to be like matching up better against your chief rival anyway. I will go get Kyle Pitts. He's never gotten arrested as far as I know, and that's great. Love that.
I also like Rashid Shaheed. I think they should just outbid the Seahawks because he's going to go wherever the money's the best. That way you have a special teams because Sky Moore wasn't really good the last few weeks. He heated up against really bad teams, pretty much like Purdy. He did what Purdy did, like heated up against bad teams. And then the second they played competent teams with hands, they were like, oh, yeah, Sky Moore's not that good. So you could get Rashid Shaheed, who's legit. He could play receiver at a good level. He could play special teams at an elite level. You could just outbid them, and then you'll win because he's not loyal to the Seahawks. So
what do you think about Max Crosby?
I did see the rumors about Max Crosby. I just don't get it. Are we trying to get younger?
He has Barrier ties.
But that's the thing.
Niners.
Are they trying to get younger?
No.
Or like, yeah. So like, but with Gus Bradley, is Max Crosby even going to be a difference maker?
Well, I mean, if you do want to have Gus Bradley, who never blitzes, you might have to have the greatest 4 defensive linemen in the world. So having Max Crosby and Nick Bosa
and Michael and Alfred Collins, I mean, you'd have the best. You'd have the best defensive line in the NFL, most likely. But
I could see them trying. I just can't see the Raiders actually. It seems like Mark Davis just won't let that happen. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Tom Brady's
you could also just sign Trey Hendrickson to like a 1 year. If you really, really want to beef up. I don't understand where this is all coming from. We have so many more holes than defensive line. Our defensive line was just hurt. Our defensive line is one of the most solid spots.
I disagree with that. I am not a Bryce Huff fan whatsoever.
Well, I'm saying with Michael, Nick, Alfred, CJ, like that starting.
Sure. I was saying I would like another edge rusher to replace Bryce Huff. I felt like that was, I know he had a couple good games early and they're going to tell themselves like, well, when everyone else is out there, he'll be effective. I guess we'll see.
Yeah. But here's my thing too, is like, I would rather us upgrade the offensive line, the secondary and the receivers before looking at the defensive line. Because the other 3 are so much worse.
Did you mention linebacker? They need a linebacker too.
Yeah, but the other 3 are so much worse. Like our safety duo is a bottom of the NFL. They're the worst in the NFL. I think our receiver room is bottom 2 in the NFL. I think
it's Raiders-esque.
I think our offensive line is like bottom 10 in the NFL, where it's like our linebacker core just having Fred.
The quarterback's top 5.
Yeah, quarterback's MVP candidate apparently.
Coach is number 1.
Like defensive line and linebacker core, I think are at least average. So it's like the other 3 are so bad. I feel like you really need to upgrade those before looking at, like, unless you can land like a Max Crosby, obviously. If you can land a Max Crosby, then you go get a Max Crosby. But will the Raiders give it to us without completely shafting us? I saw someone say, "Oh yeah,"
but also hold on. Couldn't you argue though that like if the Niners need all these things, they need 2 wide receivers, an offensive line, and this and that. Like, should they really be trading 2 to 3 first-round picks for 1 edge rusher who's almost 30? I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Here's who the Niners need to go. I've been saying it all year. I said it at the deadline. Go make a move for Kayvon Thibodeaux. He is not going to be as expensive as Max Crosby. He is very good. He is very young. You can get him, pay him like a 3-year deal that's cheaper than Max Crosby's deal, and you'll still have money to pay a receiver or get some offensive linemen. Is he as good as Max Crosby? No. But
how about this? Instead of doing that, trade everyone and rebuild.
Yeah,
they're trying to rebuild while still contending, and it's like you're going to make yourself the Pittsburgh Steelers, yo. You're not that good at drafting. Trade everyone and rebuild. Your team is not good. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's what I want to say about the team. So, like, their wins this year, their most impressive wins were fluky wins that I'm sorry that like they probably weren't better than the team. So It's the Seahawks, the Rams, the Bears, and the Eagles. Those are your impressive wins. You played the Seahawks week 1. You had that super fluky win where Jake Tonjes wins the game at the end. You play him again, you get smacked.
Don't say that's a fluke.
You play him again, you get smacked. You play him a third time, you get smacked even worse.
No.
Then you played the Rams.
Purdy making a play.
Then you played the Rams. You win by 3 in overtime. You shouldn't have won that game. Alfred Collins saved your ass. You play him again, you get smacked. I mean, if you played the Bears, you beat them on the last play. Would you have beaten them twice? You played the Eagles, you beat them barely because Juwan Jennings threw a touchdown pass. Would you beat them twice? I don't know. I don't think you're that good. And you needed all these older guys to stay healthy and carry you there. You should rebuild.
But here's my caveat. I wouldn't rebuild with John Lynch.
Hell no.
That's what I'm saying, though. So, like, if my options are stay to try and contend now with John Lynch or try and rebuild again with John Lynch, I would probably just try and stay and contend with John Lynch because I don't want to rebuild with John Lynch. If they're
but that's the problem with holding on to the coach and the court and the GM for 10 years is like you need a straight up reset, and they're not going to do it because they haven't won a ring. You don't think of them being on the hot seat, but like they can't just have 3 years of sucking. Yeah. They have to be in the playoffs, winning playoff games.
Like, that's my thing is I would be fine if they were like, we're going to reset with Kyle. Like Kyle, we're going to keep, and we're resetting everyone around us. I would be fine with that because Kyle has shown.
I would not because you just paid your quarterback. Because you just paid your quarterback.
There isn't another candidate to take Kyle's spot. You have to reset with Kyle.
But that's the problem. Like we say that they should rebuild, right? Like, but how do you rebuild when you just paid your quarterback and he gets more and more expensive every year? I mean, if you're going to rebuild, maybe you trade him too.
You can cut him after this year, but yeah, I agree. I said it. I tweeted it. I said, I think what the Niners should do is trade Nick, trade Purdy, not trade Kittle. He's a Niner for life. Can't do that.
No such thing.
Well, you just can't. No one's going to take him anyways. So you'd be getting rid of him for nothing.
There's that.
So yeah, you trade Nick, trade Demo, trade Purdy, trade Christian. You'd get rid of all of those really heavy contracts, get some draft picks, and just go.
Move on.
Look what the Patriots did. Like I see people always say like rebuild. We don't want to suck for 10 years. The Rams rebuilt in what, a year and a half? The Patriots rebuilt in 2 years.
The Bears rebuilt in like a couple of years.
Yeah, like you can rebuild within a year or two when you have a coach like Kyle, in my opinion, if you think he's
and you get the picks right.
Yeah. If you have a good GM, if Howie Roseman came to the Niners, traded those 4 players, we'd be Super Bowl contenders in 2027.
That's true, but you got John Lynch over here.